Congratulations on making your purchase of a prehistoric knife kit. This is essentially what you're hoping to make, which is a little leather pouch, and within it an awesomely sharp flint blade set into a handle with a pine pitch glue. All really simple. There's nothing complicated about this at all, but I'm going to give you a swift introduction on how to put it together. So let's home video footage the angle of the camera down to here. There, hopefully you can see everything that we're looking at. Right. Excuse me. The first thing we need to do is put a hole, or you will need to do is put a hole down inside the antler. You can do that with something like a 5mm drill, and then use a rat tail file to get the shapes into each end. Or for myself, what I like to use is it's a bit like a rat tail, but it's called a Dremel tile cutter, which goes in really fast and efficiently. So that's personally what I'll be using. Just give you a bit more angle on that, and let's have a look. The centre of the antler is nice and soft, so it's quite easy to get in. You'll get a nice smell when you do that. Some people figure it's fairly unpleasant. Personally, I don't mind it at all. Now you can see you've still got a big flat bevel at the top here, and that needs to be chamfered off. So if you've got some kind of sander, great. If not, the thing that you'll find most efficient is a nice little rasp, and then you can just mind your fingers as you go. You can quite quickly begin to chamfer that edge over. Okay. Next thing you'll be wanting to do is to get your resin, which I've made for you, and we need to heat that up. So the best thing to do is put that upright in a vise and hold this over a flame so it drips and fills up this cavity. But just before you do that, you need to make sure that the antler blade that you're going to make fits in there and goes all the way home, like so. Once you've established that and you know which way round it goes in it, then you're good to go. So put that down the way up you know it, drop this into your vise, which you can't see at the moment. And tighten that up a little bit. We then begin to fill that up. What you can also do is lay it on the top. When you think it's getting somewhere near full, you want something to extract your big lump out of the way. No, there's plenty of space for all of that in there. So I'm pushing that down into its hole, and then offer your knife, which is going to probably make things spill out of the side. This can be pretty hot, so be a little bit tentative about touching it yet. Personally, I'd just let that go cold. Now we need to go back and have a look at the pouch. The pouch itself, you have a piece of leather like so. So lay that down and think about making a shape, something like a pointed shoe. Depending on the length that you want the belt strap to be, remember that it's going to be folded over like that. You may need to extend this out a bit. Then take your knife, place it over the leather and draw around, making sure that you've caused enough space around the edge so that when that folds over the blade, that can meet in the middle without having a big empty bit. So down the bottom here you can see the shape I've made for this knife. It'd be a bit too long because there's 2 inches of leather sticking out the front. It's a fairly coarse way of making a pouch, but I think you'll agree that it's kind of suitable for this Neolithic-y looking blade. You'll find that I've given you, or you've purchased about 3 meters of synthetic sinew. So you'll need to needle that up, and then you need to consider making a set of holes along the edges of where you're going to be sewing. I like to do that with a punch and a hammer. As you can see, I'm not measuring the holes, I'm just fairly evenly spacing them out, space them from the edge and each other, trying not to get too near the edge, because if you do, you'll tear the holes out when you sew it up. And after that, it's a simple case of sewing it up and seeing how your knife fits. On this knife at the moment, you'll currently notice that it's still looking a bit of a mess, so lift off any of the glue that's stuck to the side. That will simply lift off with the fingers. It should still be fairly malleable and soft, and just push it gently down at the edge of the blade and the antler on both sides, and provided you don't keep your flame there too long, because if you do you'll shatter the piece of flint, just lick it across there and that will come up with a nice gloss finish. And that is about it. Have fun with your new knife, and I hope it goes well for you. Thanks for your purchase.